Welcome back to Manly Matters, everybody. I'm glad you're here with me today. So today we got another episode of Manly Talks. But before I introduce my guest, I want to give a shout out to my girl Angie for making me this awesome hat. Check her out at CNC Creations. She does great work and is very affordably priced. So thank you, Angie. Man, I look good. So I've got a lot of awesome guests coming up soon, and I'm really excited to talk to all of them, and they're going to bring a variety of experience and a variety of topics that's going to be awesome. So make sure you look out for new videos when they come out, and I hope you enjoy. First things first, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications. At the end of the video, if you liked it, hit that thumbs up for me. I really appreciate it. So on today's episode of Manly Talks, I have my friend James Robbins come on, or as I affectionately call him, Jim. Jim's a great guy with a ton of experience in the instructor realm. And so I thought, why not bring him on to talk about public speaking? So for those of you who don't know, I was actually an instructor for 3 years. I taught a school called Combat Readiness School. So before airmen in the Air Force deployed to hostile environments, they came through our school to learn things like close quarters combat, weapons tactics, counter IED, stuff like that, potential life-saving knowledge. And I learned a ton about public speaking in the 3 years that I worked in that school. And a lot of what I learned is from our guest today, Jim. I do want to preface this video by saying that just because you listen to these 6 tips, you're not going to become an expert public speaker. You will see that we have plenty of tips that are helpful, but ultimately it's on you to get out there and practice. Before I ruin the rest of the video, take it away. All right, so today I'm here with Jim. How you doing, Jim?
I'm good, dude. Part 2.
Part 2. For all the viewers, we tried this before, and we had a little bit of a failure in communication, but we're here. And so, Jim, you were my mentor for 3 years in the instructor realm, and under your tutelage, I learned a whole lot about public speaking, and I feel a lot more confident, obviously, today than I did 3 years ago when I started looking into topics to talk about and things that I feel like men could use a lesson on getting better and progressing themselves. Why not start with the number one fear in the world, and that's public speaking. Let's just get into a little bit of our tips, right? We're going to do 6 tips,
Sure.
3 apiece, and, talk a little bit about them. So I'll let you go ahead and start. What's your first tip on public speaking?
First preparation is knowledge, right? You got to know what it is that you're talking about. You're going to get in front of a group of people and share information. You have to know what that information is, essentially. You got to be smart about what it is you're going to go up and talk about. I look at entrepreneurs and people who do product display or product releases and huge forums, like you look at Elon Musk or Steve Jobs and people who get up in front of large groups of people and present products that they've invented or created. They have to know what it is. Of course, they know what it is that they're selling, essentially. And teaching or instructing is the exact same way. Whether you're a high school teacher, an elementary teacher, an instructor in a military capacity, you have to embody and encompass the information that you're delivering. You got to know it intimately.
So that's a good point, which ties me into my first point, which is preparation. So obviously knowing your subject is really important, as Jim said, but there's more that goes into it in preparing yourself to get up and talk in front of people. That kind of goes with practice. That's one of the big points. And as silly as it sounds, I would stand in front of a full body length mirror and give my presentations to the mirror. And I would notice things about my body language, about my eyes, about my face, things that, maybe I didn't particularly like, things that were good, and I took notes. That kind of all went into the presentation, which, like I said, ties directly into Jim's point about knowledge.
It also stems into your physical readiness, your image, your personal image, how you project yourself. When you talk that talk, you got to walk the walk as well. But it also goes into getting yourself ready, putting yourself together, have a haircut, look professional. You can't get in front of a group of people looking like you've rolled out of bed and wearing sweatpants, a t-shirt, and a pair of sneakers when you're trying to sell something professional. My second thing is, you got to have some charisma. You got to have a personality to you. You got to have almost a sense of humor. You're going to make mistakes in front of a group of people. You're going to say the wrong thing. You're going to forget the word that you're trying to say. I do that all the time. I forget what I'm trying to say all the time. I've been doing this for close to 20 years, and I'll get in front of a group of people knowing what I want to say, and I'll reach that word and forget it, completely go blank. I'll make fun of myself for it. I'll even ask the crowd, like, where was I going with that? Or what was I trying to say? Because if your audience is not engaged, then no matter what you're saying, you could give them, all the keys to life and how to be a millionaire and, how to be successful or rich and handsome and, or beautiful or whatever. And if they're not engaged to listen to you, the information is worthless.
That's a good point. And bringing that charisma, bringing that humor and all that is super important, which actually rolls into my second point, which is finding your niche, right? So whenever you become an instructor, whenever you become a public speaker, or even if it's just your first time giving a public speech, you need to find out your lane, right? Your rut that you fit in, that you're able to get into your groove and just roll through. But if you're not the guy that can prep a bunch of jokes and you're not the guy who can get up there and just be the funny guy, be engaging in the sense that I know so much about this material. I know so much about what I'm going to deliver to you. You need to listen to me. That's another way to hook the audience. Like he said, you still want to keep that audience engaged, because even the most intelligent, knowledgeable person is going to put people to sleep after a little while if you're up there monotone. So bring that personality into what you're doing, but find your lane. Know what personality you are and use it to your advantage, not as a weakness. So in that niche, it kind of rolls into Jim's third point, which is?
My third point is confidence. You got to be able to trust yourself and know and have the confidence in yourself that you can get in front of people. You can go up there, speak intelligently, speak with a purpose, deliver the information that you have to share, and trust that that you're going to do a bang up job. The confidence comes from all the things that we talked about, the preparation, knowing your lane, knowing your niche, knowing your groove. It comes from your physical readiness and knowing that you put yourself together with a purpose that morning. You get in front of a group of people. It all kind of just sums up into being able to walk into the room, walk through the crowd, step in front of the group and say good morning or hi, hello. The confidence. You get up there timid, shy, you're not sure of yourself, you don't really know what you're going to say next. Your audience is going to read into that. They're going to see the doubt in you. And when when the people who are listening to what you got to say doubt you, then they're going to discredit your information, even though your information might be factual. It might be accurate and to the point, but they wonder, is this guy the best person to be teaching me? And what he's teaching me, is it right? I'm not sure, because he's not sure or she's not sure. I'm still nervous when I get in front of a new class. The very first time I go in front of a new group of people, I'm nervous. But I overcome that nervousness because I've prepared.
And knowing everything we've talked about up to this point is really what builds that confidence. When you know your lane, these certain points where you can kind of crack a joke, all these things, you're prepared, all that's where the confidence derives from. All of this can be summed up in my last point, which is know your shortfalls. When you're in that stage of, I'm about to deliver a message to a group of people, you need to understand where your shortcomings are and you need to work on them. One of the things you need to do is you need to practice, because that's where you find out your shortcomings. And things like vocal pauses is all right, okay, things like that. It's important to know that, because if you get up there and you're doing an machine gun on everybody, it's going to take them out of the message of what you're delivering. So that's a common shortfall. Another common shortfall is getting off track, not staying to the topic. If you're preparing a 30-minute presentation and it ends up being an hour long, that you're just wordy. You're somebody that's going to word vomit, and that's one of those things to pay attention to. So knowing your shortfall is all about practicing and trying to get better. And realistically, it all ties into the whole point of this channel is knowing your limitations, knowing your shortcomings, and trying to get better. And that is probably the number one thing that I think enough public speakers don't do, enough instructors don't do. They come in with confidence. They come in with their preparation. They're ready to go and they think they're good, but they haven't micro-examined areas that they need to get better at, some of the small things that can take someone out of a presentation. Jim, I really appreciate you taking the time to come on and talk a little bit about it. You're obviously very knowledgeable on the subject and gave some great words of wisdom to the viewers, and I hope to have you back on soon.
Man, I appreciate you having me on. It's been an honor. Yeah, I really appreciate the privilege to come in and speak about what I do and the things that I do, and it's cool.
I appreciate you coming on, Jim, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, cool. Thanks, man.
All right, everybody, I hope you enjoyed it. So as you can tell, Jim is a wealth of knowledge, and I hope to have him back on soon because there's plenty of other things that we can dive into and plenty of other things that we can talk about. And as I said in the beginning of the video, just because you know these 6 tips doesn't make you an expert public speaker. The number one thing you can do is practice, practice, practice.
Practice? We're talking about practice, man.
There's a reason that's the number one fear in the world. It's because it's super intimidating. And you're not just gonna roll out of bed one day and wake up and be a great public speaker. So if it's something that you wanna pursue or if it's something that you wanna get better at, just get out there and practice it. So one more time, I wanna shout out my girl Angie for this awesome hat, C&C Creations. Make sure you look her up. And over the next 2 weeks, I've got a jam-packed schedule of guests that are gonna come on and speak, and I'm telling you, I'm absolutely pumped about them. So please be on the lookout for them. Also, if you haven't already, go like the page on Facebook and like the Instagram. That's where you're gonna get the best news. And I typically like to post something every day, something inspirational that I think is important, or some sort of proverb, something like that. Both the Facebook and Instagram are at Manly Matters Videos. Manly Matters Videos, or, as you can read. I'll also post those links in the description. Also, if you like this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Hit subscribe and notifications. It's important to hit notifications because it'll let you know when something new comes out. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you thought. Also, share it with your friends, share it with your family, talk about it at work. Just know that this is something that I'm passionate about. Thanks for taking the time to watch. Until next time, adios.